Yes. Ah, I was like, I don't know what I was on that piece of paper, but I've been getting the message to be vulnerable, but I ain't trying to be that open and vulnerable. Like, y'all don't. Oh, uh, y'all don't need to see all that. It's fine. It's fine. I was like, hold up, wait. That got some personal information on it. I think this is the second time I've done that. That's why I deleted the last one too. Hi! Oh my gosh, Reem, long time no see. How are you doing tonight? How are you? You got your tea and your snacks? So and then here you can see like the entire picture. Yeah, we're all good, Eve. Um we're all good. So yes. So here's the fungi. So with this one, it's actually they were next to each other. I'll see. I can pull up the pictures on me phone on my iPad. I just realized how big this iPad is. Like when I got it, I bought a bigger size, but I didn't realize how big it was until like recently. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty sizable. So the fungi, here we go, is this one. I guess I should hold it this way. So this was one picture, and then this was the other one. And I kind of sort of put them together. Those are the fungi, right? Because in the thumbnail, it cut it. Crab cakes and stuffed mushrooms. What? I have no clue what kind of mushrooms these are. I don't even know if I ate dinner today. I had some chips. The road is, and then there was another pick I want to do. This is the road in its entirety. If you're curious what the entire picture, girl, it's fine. I'm not starting all over again. Here's the statue. Now, with the statue, I took a fuller picture because I couldn't tell where the statue came from. And it doesn't, like, I've seen these in the cemetery, and it doesn't look like this is necessarily like the base of the statue. So I don't know where that thing came from, what knocked it over, where its hand went, where the head went, but that's fine. Oh gosh, I'm just all kinds of a mess, aren't I? And then, last but not least, with the stump, I think in this one you can see it a little better. Can you see it? How like it's growing? Yeah. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, I got you, Holly. I got you. I'm a little whatever. So anyway, those are the four options. And then I got this little thingy to move around as I'm doing it. So like you know where I am. And I can just like I can move it here when I'm here, I can move it here when I'm here, I can move it here when I'm here. I can do this where you can't see anything. Okay. And so that's what I was doing. That's why it took me um, a little bit longer. Hey, Skywaltress. Hello. Yeah, it's fine. Um, so this is what we're gonna do, and I guess I'll start. I'll work my way from left to right, and I'm like here in the corner. So I am actually. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but let's just start with this one. And then if you like, if y'all want to see the things again, I can put them all up. So my timestamp is gonna come from here. So I'm gonna say like four. I'll say 5 minutes, and you choose group. I don't know. So for this one, I actually don't know where I want to go. This is one of the ones where I didn't have it figured out. But we have fungus, and that's an energy of decomposition. It's an energy of decomposition. I want to use the Tea Leaf Fortune cards. It's an energy of decomposition that is also paired with life. It's like the more one thing grows. Oh my gosh. Oh, never mind. Hold up, wait. I gotta send a message to somebody like real quick. Real quick, real quick. Oh, wow. 1 second. Sorry. I'm gonna improvise. I'm gonna improvise in my best. Yesterday I the sun was like huge and it was orange. It was as the sun was setting and it was happening behind the trees. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, I got on my phone. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. You can't really see it, but it was like huge and glorious and like this awesome pinky orange color. I was like, what? Setting before my very eyes. Ooh, okay, sorry. All right, focus. I need to focus. I gotta focus. So it feels like as one thing comes to life, another thing fades. And I feel like I don't have the deck that's like perfect for this, but I'm gonna try these. Oh my gosh. Has anyone else's heart space just been like on overdrive lately? I don't know what's happening or why it's happening now, but I don't know. Something is transpiring. I'm feeling it right now. That's why I'm like, and maybe the enchanted map oracle cards. This is such an because it's like it's not necessarily an in between energy. And I'm gonna use the wild unknown archetypes because of the Bardo and also like the blade and stuff like that. So you're getting a whole bunch of oracle cards. And there's an energy where it's like that which is leaving, that which is fading away has served its purpose. And it's also like that had to happen in order to set the foundation for something else. But I can't, never mind. I'll keep it. I'll keep it until I can do something with it. I'm so excited for like life. Oh, look, I got two circular decks. I don't have any more. Right? I had to like. That's another reason why I came a little later because I realized I needed like all my decks to be available. So I had to like dig out the box. This poor box has been through a lot. So for the fun guys, just a couple of dudes having fun. Might as well turn this on, right? And I'll put it here. I'll put it here. I kind of sort of like how cluttered this looks like this. So I'm going to keep it like that. It's the Bardo, but it also feels like it's Thanatos. And I feel like I'm getting like really excited and I'm like yelling again. So, but also I don't know if you can hear me. I feel like this is really loud. I am no longer giving in to distractions. Hold up. Yeah, I am. I lied. I'm sorry. Yeah. See. There's also the thing when I think Reem was live a while ago, and somebody mentioned the thing that's basically like the fungal network, and it's almost like it's a scaffolding energy before it comes into being. And I was telling Reem the other day, speaking of transitional, sort of like in between ish energy, I was like, I don't really have a set specific thing in mind, but I know characteristics and aspects of what I want to have and what I want to be able to do. And so right now, I'm like building out the foundation for that experience. I'm setting up for that experience. And for me, it's like I want to be able to work within the field and industry that I want to work in, and I want to be able to work remotely. And so there's a certain level of experience that I need like in office before I can go on the road. And that's the energy of sort of like building out the goodness. That's the energy of building out the scaffold to be filled later. I'm also going to pull these because that is towardness, I think. Towardness has the same. What? Mycelium. Yeah, that's what it was. It doesn't. There's a fungus among us. Oh, snap. Hey, Ariel. How you doing? Oh, wow. Okay, so this is where we're going to start. What's this? That's way too much. I'm going to look at it, though. It's an energy of towardness because it feels like, or it felt like there was an energy of, it was turgor pressure. Who was that? Did I do that? I did that live, right? And it was towardness. It's like you build out the foundation, but then it's like you pour in the water, and as the things swell, they swell to fit the container. You're basically building the container right now, or that's part of this. So we have Ash, personal Yggdrasil, ask, resistance, willful, unwile, and year harvest with Gar. Or Gare? Gur. Gur. Sorry. What's at the bottom? Oh, it's Dag now. Day purged. We're gonna get 3 for each of these. Oh my gosh. I gotta work tomorrow. And I don't want to be here all night. But if I am, it's fine. I gotta remember to turn these upside down because I'm using OBS instead of the Logitech Capture. So we're gonna see how these fit together. Yeah. I conveniently placed this little blue box right here to let you know where I am. I feel like there's a very silent energy here. It's externally silent, but it's internally busy. Like we don't see all the things that happen underground. And there's almost an energy here where it's like from a certain perspective it may seem like mushrooms just pop up overnight. Oh my, mushrooms have been huge. Mushrooms have been huge. There was like these huge white mushrooms I've never seen before. And they were in one person's yard and then they cut them. And now they got closer. Now they're like in the yard, like next door. They're not as big as they were down the street. I was like, oh my gosh, they almost looked ornamental. Um, but another thing about the mushroom is that it carries an energy very similar to the stump. I mean, like trees and grass grows, but it's like it's something else that grows in the cemetery. So it's a little bit of a pomegranate energy in that too. But if it's like it may seem like something happens overnight, but again, it's like the foundation is being built now. Oh, that was quick. I don't know where you fall. I want one more. Oh. The lover and the father with Thanatos at the bottom of the deck. There's the magic. I'm gonna read Thanatos because Thanatos feels like um, the mushroom, or that feels like the energy. Thanatos is number 73, which is a 10. Endings for the sake of beginnings. Thanatos is death. It is tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as transformation, but the true archetypal resonance of Thanatos cannot be easily assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent, an eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the ending of another being, creature, phase, or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed by Thanatos as it sweeps us under its wings, making us relinquish control in every form. It leaves a mark of ash. Thank you! It leaves a mark of ash upon your heart, signifying we have touched the cusp of the underworld and will return to the land of the living eventually, with more compassion and wisdom to share. This capacity is needed in our world. One who has faced the annihilation of Thanatos can face anything. When this card appears, it signifies an initiation into the underworld. There are those with a great gift for navigating Thanatos energy. Thankfully, we find these generous souls in emergency rooms, hospitals, hospice centers, and the like. Facing Thanatos leads us to Aletheia, truth. This isn't. It's not apocalypsis. Wait, maybe it was apocalypsis that I was actually thinking of. Yeah, I was actually thinking of apocalypsis. Apocalypsis indicate a particularly painful time, and it's not painful though. So the part is the old narrative breaks and a new story forms. Apocalypsis energy is similar to a forest fire's devastation for the sake of regeneration. Oh my gosh. These mushrooms are going to take me through like every single deck that I own. And maybe even some that I don't currently yet own. Wink, 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 wink. Nudge, 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 nudge. Because that to me is Sandalphon, Angel of New Life, I think. Really? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Do they have kids or no? Let me stop. That was a dumb question to ask. Crucial Angel of Punishment. No. It'll come out again if it's supposed to. The virus, no kids. Okay. Do you know if she has like any family? Or is she like gonna be sort of on her own? I mean, I guess she's got you, right? So she won't be completely alone, but Samikiel, Angel of Vengeance. No. The Angel of Punishment and the Angel of Vengeance. There's an energy here. It almost speaks of intention in a way, but not really. Can I get the angel? Actually, I'm not. Well, I could just read it. I'll just read it instead of pulling the entire deck. Whew. Angel of Mercy at the bottom. Oh my gosh. Well, I wish you two like all the best in navigating this. And like patience and compassion and like everything. Sandalphon, Angel of New Life. When the time is right, the twin angel will return. Sandalphon was the first, and now we follow it forward along the shoreline and into the water. Sandalphon's footstep brings with it great fear, but also awe and hope. With each step, we move closer to the conclusion and a new beginning. Embrace this new epoch. What has come has already passed. What will be is still a dream. Sandalphon flows through it all. When a new era emerges, the blood of the twin angel brings fertility to everything it touches. It's not that one. It was Aziraphale, Angel of Song. But it has a very similar energy. I'm not going to find this in anything that I have, which is fine. I can just talk about it, right? I feel like it was Thanatos. Maybe I was just talking. No, I thought it was. Thanatos holds the energy. It's like after one thing has passed, but before it has been reborn. And I think mushrooms also, as decomposers, they give nutrient. It's like they take the life that remains in a vessel that has lost its spark, and they return it to the earth as nutrients for other things to grow. And the thing with the lover and the father, it's almost like it kind of sort of is that like we go for partners who mirror our yeah. It's kind of sort of that energy where like we look for our parents and our partners, but it's just like it's not here anymore. It's looking for this father in anything and everything. And it reminds me a while ago when Russ, it was last year, when Russ was talking about his brother and how sometimes when we grieve, we can keep spirits here past their time. It's like we become their unfinished business because we can't let go. But it feels like whatever we're looking for, we're not going to find it here. But it's an inability to sort of let go here. Man, it reminds me of the Angel of Dust. I'm going to have to look this one up. I'll do it on my iPad so I can show you. The Angel of Dust is in Angelarium, but is not on a card. Um, Girl, where is my iPad? Hey Siri, play a noise on my iPad. Psych. Hey Siri, play a noise on my iPad, please.
Looking for it. Pinging it now.
It sounds like it's coming from everywhere. Oh. Hello. Hey Kizzy Cat. How are you doing? Kizzy Cat. No. Are you a Virgo? Was your birthday on the 10th, Kizzy Cat? Did I miss your birthday? Or was Starborn Virg's? I think Starborn Virg's birthday has come and gone. I feel so bad. Or no. Maybe it was on the 10th. There's also Asbiel, the Angel of Ruin, in the year twos, but this isn't that. Angelarium, Angel of Dust. Cephalatus. Oh my gosh. Oh, maybe Cephalatus isn't here. Hold up. Oh. Yeah, see? It's the person on the back of the year two. Or I guess that's the front. Cephalatus, Angel of Dust. Oh, there you go. But this is the one that I saw a while ago. It was the 10th. Ah. Well, happy belated birthday. I was like, wait, Kizzy Cat told me her birthday was the 10th. Happy belated birthday, Kizzy Cat. And I think Starborn Berg's birthday might have been. No, Eve's birthday was on a Saturday. Happy birthday. Flesh to. Oh, look, there's Ash again. Flesh to ash, bones to dust. Let sand pull back to wretched teeth, and let the heavens rain dry. Fill thy heart with scorn, O genius of dust. Let thy touch wash over our sins, we submit to the end. So Flatus built a growing collection of halls and spires that cracked the desert horizon, each one its own jagged landscape. Every day men would witness the angel's latest creations and each night they would cheer as he brought them down. As this cycle became commonplace, the only fanfare came at their destruction. So there is something here that's almost about forgetting the miracle of creation. Or it's about like, oh my gosh. Girl, I just saw that year two was up. Cause I was like, I got on there yesterday or the day before. I said, what year one is available? I'm getting it soon. I'm getting it soon. Whoop, whoop. I'm excited. Cause I looked last year and I don't think year one was available. It was just year two, or whenever I got year two. Year two was the only one available, but I will be getting it. No problem. I'm glad that you got to go visit your kids. It feels like, I don't know, like forgetting the miracle of life. And at that point was like as it became more commonplace, the only fair fanfare was at its destruction. And so it feels like something is overlooked. And maybe that's what this resistance is. The resistance, and that's what these two things in Gare are. It's like there's something being overlooked. The resistance isn't resistance in the way we would usually think of resistance, it's in forgetting something. The cracked cup. I'll take it. And January. With the camel and the peacock. Bottom of this deck is the fan. The fan is romance, celebration, and a party. But this fan looks like it would be. Ooh! Are you gonna go live, girl? Because I haven't seen it. Or are you gonna use it? This fan feels like one of those it's like it's secretly a weapon. Like there are like little knives, or like these edges are very sharp, or something like that. The cracked cup is dissatisfaction with life, which again goes back to that energy of like forgetting the miracle of life. And wasn't Sandalphon the angel of new life? The camel, persevere and you will overcome problems. And then the peacock, beware of great pride. Where is this going? Okay. I feel like this isn't going to get me where I want to go, which is fine. I'm just going to have to pull it from the ether. See, the reason why that dissatisfaction with life, or why overlooking the miracle of life is detrimental, it's because of the network, the mycelium. It's like everything has a part to play, even that which could be sort of unsightly. And the thing about these mushrooms too, oh my gosh. Let's see if I can grab this. The thing about the mushrooms is that if you look at them, and I'm going to have to like, oh, no, I don't. If you see these, can you see my mouse? Oh, I can move the box. Oops. Oh no. the box. So let me lock this so I can grab the box. So you see this mushroom and this mushroom. It looks like this might have been this one, but it's flattened. And I was actually thinking about this, and it's like if it's flattened, then it's probably released its spores. And spores are like seeds, but there's typically more of them. Oops, sorry. There's typically more spores. Oh my gosh. Mercury is probably in its pre retrograde shadow and is not responsible for any technical difficulties in this video. So, so there's an energy where it feels like seeds have already been planted. But it feels like a spore is even more hardy than a seed because it will just wait almost indefinitely. There are some spores that is like they'll be around forever until the conditions are right for them. And so there's another energy. It feels like walking away from a seed that was planted that you thought didn't grow. But it's like it didn't grow because of maybe the pressure that was there or whatever the reason why. Maybe there's a certain need because again this came out lately. It was an energy. It was the camel and the scorpion and the wild unknown animal spirits. It's like you could persevere, you could push through this, you could make it, but you don't have to. And it almost becomes a thing of pride for us, just to be able to say we made it, or just to be able to say we did it, and to be able to say that we did it alone or without this or without that. But it's that network. The cracked cup. There's something about, again, it's like it's building out the structure. Yeah. If patience has been a message for you, let me stop. Can I get? I'll take it. Oh, wait, how many is this? Ride the wave and spark. 37 or 34 and 14. Bottom of the deck is coming to life. See, this is the energy. It's one of those things where it's almost like when there's so much focus on it, it can't grow. But if you give in to the tide, it's almost like there's so much with this. It's almost like working against the very thing that you wish to bring about in some way. But again, it's that energy. It's like you won't find it there. You won't find it where you're You won't find it where you're looking or lurking because it's already gone. It's already moved on. It's already transitioned. Or it's in the in between. It's preparing for its next thing. It's like all that's left is a body. The spark is gone. The spark has re entered the collective pool. And now it may live on as something else. It could be a dolphin. Right? It reminds me of Earthsea. There are like a lot of those dolphins out there. They're wizards that turned into dolphins and just forgot their human life. Yeah, yeah, they are bringing new life. But it feels like an arrival. And it feels very like something emerging from the water. You know how like Godzilla goes back. I've seen Mothra, Godzilla versus Mothra, but I don't think I saw it in full. But I've seen Godzilla like images portrayed in non Godzilla media. And it's like when Godzilla goes back to the ocean at the end of the movie, it's like Godzilla's coming out of the ocean. There's something about the element of water here. Because water is the thing in a plant that builds pressure. Oh my gosh, we're getting scientific again. They are dolphins. Oh, look, this dolphin's got like a fairy on it. Oh, wait. Yeah, this dolphin's got a fairy on it. I feel like this autofocus is better in OBS, but I might have just lied to you. Oh, where was I getting? Where was I going? What just happened? I lost it. I lost it. Something else said something about coming to water or going to water. Dolphins were stuck in the water. Wait, what? You had a crazy dolphin dream 2 nights ago that they were stuck in the water. The chopped wood card. Oof. Yeah, turgor pressure. Thank you, Kizzy Cat. Thank you. So plants are so the difference between like let's go back to whatever biology class where the difference between like a plant cell and an animal cell is that a plant cell has a cell wall whereas animal cells don't have cell walls. And so in theory, an animal cell can get as big as it wants to get while a plant cell is limited. And when something wilts or if something is like squishy, like if it's a plant, it's because its cells aren't full of water. Turgor pressure is what happens when the cell is full of water and the cellular membrane presses against the cell wall. And it's that turgor pressure that makes it stiff. So I'm immature, okay? I own it. I accept it, even though I don't like it sometimes. Water turned into frozen earth, and you had to get them out. And the dolphin dream? Oh my gosh. Did you get the dolphins out? Well, here's the spark. Maybe the spark will melt the frozen earth. And so, one way that a plant can lose water, one way that a cell can lose water, I'm not 100% sure how it works in plant cells. I don't remember all of biology. I'm sorry. I mean, in a certain lens, that dream could be like dolphins represent play, and so it can be an element of play or an element of expression and expansion in a joyous way that is not happening maybe because of like responsibilities that aren't being mitigated. It's almost like I'll take a break when I finish this. Like you can go play when I finish this. You can go play when I finish this, but it's never over. It's frozen earth. Potentially. Also take it as it resonates. Right? It'll come to you when it comes to you and the way it's meant to. And so one way to get water out of the cell is if the thing outside of it holds less water than it does. And that's when you get into osmosis. And what's the other word? Osmosis is blank for water. Duh, 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 duh. I feel like it starts with the D. Can anybody help me out? Hey, mean Marceline Vampire Queen. Yeah. I'm glad you got him freed. Diffusion. That's what it is. See, and then diffusion, it feels like the energy that's breaking, like that's the mushroom breaking something down. I think the mushrooms are working on this resistance. For some people, and it may not be the case, there may be like issues with the father figure or an authoritative figure here. And maybe it's this father figure that could put one in a position of being like, I'm going to persevere. I'm not going to reach out, blah, 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 blah. It becomes a pride thing because of this father figure. And it's almost like it could be an energy of proving to someone. But it's like when we prove to someone, it takes away from celebration. And that's why this fan, that's why the fan becomes a weapon rather than a symbol of romance and celebration and partying and a good time. Because instead of celebrating, and then it's like the way this is set up, this energy is never satisfied. It's almost like it'll never be enough. And so with Thanatos, what it does is it prevents something from being able to come back to life. That's why the energy is like new life. And it's like, life in someone else's shadow or even in your own shadow is no way to live. It's almost an energy like that's not a life. Like, are you alive? Yes, but is that a life? Question mark. So, maybe it's the season to recall Dreams Eve. I don't even. My dreams lately have been very uninspiring, I feel, but I feel like something's also happening. I don't know. So that's what I got for this one. I feel like I've already been live for like an hour. It's been 45 minutes and I'm still on the mushroom. But this energy, mushroom energy, again, it's that in between. So it's like some things are dying off for other things to come into being. And it's almost like there's a certain minimum, going back to spores and seeds, there's a minimum nutrition. Sorry. If you can read my mind, you may have laughed too. Um, there's a certain nutritional threshold, a minimum threshold that the seed, that the spore needs before it can begin to sprout and grow. And it's almost one of those things. It's like if you pay with a card at the gas station or if you go to a vending machine, they take out more money than you may spend as a sort of cushion. And so it feels like you're almost in a cushion phase where you may not necessarily need all of the energy that you're storing. You may not necessarily need all that you're in the space of preparing for, but it's to give the seed, it's to encourage the seed to grow. What is inside the seed needs to be reassured that it is going to reach a complete maturation. And if the conditions are questionable, it's not going to budge. And it feels like the mushrooms are the ones, again, it's like it's pulling the energy from one thing and it's putting it into the seed to grow. That was gate 7 with the golden egg and some other cards in the wild unknown. It was like it was an energy of something that was being transmuted and then fed back into the golden egg so that the golden egg would hatch. The womb. Number 46, which is another 10. See, oh yeah, that's the seed. But it's the same as this one. Here it's like it's not been planted. There we go. Yeah, this is like, I feel like this is all over. Not in a bad way. But again, like that's the nature of the network. That's the reason why it's so important to continue to see the miracle of life for what it is. And to not only like give into the spectacle when you see something being destroyed. Going back to Suckloff? No. Girl. Oh, I was like, where did my iPad go? I just had it. Sophlatus built a growing collection of halls and spires that crack the desert horizon, each one its own jagged landscape. Each one is a different landscape. Every day, men would witness the angel's latest creations, and each night they would cheer as he brought them down. As the cycle became commonplace, the only fanfare came at their destruction. It's that mycelium energy. It's like every, like, it feels very, it feels like an accountant. It's almost like there's something keeping track of all of the moving pieces. Because again, it's like once the seed has enough, then it sprouts. And there's also the energy of having more than enough. Your booty is a bit of a cushion. Thank you, Kizzy Cat. I'm like, I hope this is. I try. So thank you. All right, that's it for the mushrooms. For the fun guys and gals out there. I'm going to start calling them fun gals. Why do they got to be guys? Or fun things? Because they ain't got to be gals either. Let's just call it fun. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Who was this? Stuck in the mud? I feel like this stuck in the mud energy, it's keeping you in place long enough for something to happen, though. And then bottom of the deck is coming apart. There's a part of you that sees things that you don't want to see. There's a part of you that remembers things that you don't want to remember. There's a part of you that is on the other side. In whatever way it's on the other side. And it's almost like that part of us, or you, has to continue to experience even though you don't see it. Which is again the part of the mushroom that's helping break down that resistance. But that's rough. But that's the thing about the in between, right? If you're building something better, you almost have to know where the last one fell apart because the next one can fall apart too for the exact same reasons. But anyway, oh yeah, they aren't. I agree. They're not always fun, but some of them have you having more fun than others. The gong, an exciting event. I feel like this gong exciting event, it's almost a reassurance. Oh, there's a month at the top of the deck. Dare I? Oh, it's January again. Last time that was that the Broken Cup? November. broken ring. Parting of the ways in either romance or business. That goes back to that energy. It's just that energy again, where it's like one thing has to, it doesn't necessarily have to, but as it departs, it makes room for something else to enter. So I'm going to be here for a while. All right. Have a good night, Reem. If you consider shadow work, fine. Have an excellent night, girl. Um, my bedtime is coming up too. I got to get through these, so we'll see. I'll be fine. I'm not going to be the only person at work tomorrow, so that's going to be gorgeous. But also, they're going to be like, okay, well, you know this stuff, so it's time to move on to other things. And there was this one part, it was a spider. I'm just like, oh, she's like, okay, do this. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then she's like, watch out for the spiders. I was like, and then she was talking about spider drama. She was like, one of those spiders was a nymph. That thing was huge. And then she's like, yeah, and these other spiders, like, they're really territorial. So there's two of them now, but pretty soon it'll only be one. I'm like, girl, I appreciate life in the many forms that it takes. But if you would have taken care of these spiders, I wouldn't have had to have that near death experience. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. The would you rather game. What? All right. Oh, see, look, there's the Bardo. The Bardo and the Threshold. I love that. Because this is that coming to life energy. But it's like it's coming to life and you're alive. So it's coming to you. You are where you need to be. And it does feel a little bit divine timing y, where it's almost like there's nothing more that you can do right now. Like there are other things that you can do, but in this situation, there's nothing more that can be done. The offering. Well, maybe if you know the right person, it's not the bride, but I don't know. The moon just looked like that last night, but it was a little thicker than a snicker. You have Lady Banana Spider in your garden. You haven't seen one in 2 years, girl. I mean, I guess for garden, spiders are good because they eat the things that eat the garden. But I'm just like, oof. Maybe you and this person would get along. The most intricate web. Now, every time I go back there, that's all I'm going to think about. And she's like, okay, Patrick, it's time for you to go. I'm like, no, please don't make me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. A spider is not going to stand in my way. Night. All right. That took a hot second and a half. That took a hot hour. Um, where did my little pen go? I'm losing everything. Oh, here it is. So, we're going to move on to the statue. Oops. Gonna move over to the statue. Oh, crap. I locked it. Oh, crap. Let's touch. We're going to come here because I'm feeling it. So, I guess I should write that on here because I'm just writing 1, 2, and 3. It's fine. So 2 is 59.55. Ah! She worked so hard on her web. Okay. I can't diss her hard work. Charlotte did, Wilbur is solid. Some pig, fantastic. 1 second. I'll put F and then I'll put S. So for the statue, this is the one I was thinking about when I was like, I gotta get out another deck. I'm gonna use the Damon Tarot and the Angel Tarot for this one. Oh, here it is. I was like, if I can find it. And we're just gonna see what happens with this one. And then I guess I'll go from there. And we'll see. Hopefully, war doesn't break out on this little table. I'm gonna have to put all these back after this live. That's fine. That's Into the Woods when Cinderella was stuck on the steps of the palace. Knowing this time I'd run for him, he spread pitch on the stairs. I was caught unawares and I thought, well, he cares. It was like Cinderella felt what she felt for the prince. The prince felt what he felt for her. I feel like there was an understanding of how he felt, but there was something within her that she wasn't able to reconcile. If he really knew who I was, then he wouldn't like me. He wouldn't love me. He wouldn't whatever. At least in Into the Woods. And so she couldn't decide on whether to stay or not. So what she did was she came up with the idea to leave him a shoe as a clue. And if he cared enough to find her where she was and to still ask for her hand, then she had her answer, right? But it feels like it may be time to make your own decision. Or it's time for you to take charge. Because that was her making a decision, and she said that in the song. Oh, that was quick. Heniel, the lovers. Okay. Stop and take stock while you're standing there stuck. To avoid the collision. Oh, I wish I could remember the lyrics to the song. Because she's like, basically, if I go home, everything's wrong, but if I stay here, I know I'll never belong. This one came out quick, too. Azazel. What? That's the Angel of Sacrifice in Angelarium. Heniel and Azazel. We're going to read Azazel first. And then we'll see what this is about. So, there are many situations that are no one's fault or the fault of so many people that no one person should take the blame. But it's still important that we find one person to punish, whether that person truly deserves punishment or not. But when good things happen, by again chance or confluence, we don't spend as much time looking around for one person to reward, do we? Beware of looking for someone to blame in situations which no one person is responsible for. Focus on fairness and offering equal praise for success as blame for mistakes. Wait. These cards are always so interesting, though. I never get like the big bads, or I never get one that's like, because look, especially like when I first got it, I was like, I don't know why I bought this. I'm never gonna use it. Tap is at the bottom. Let's see what tap is about. Excuse me. Tap. Among the gifts, among the gifts specifically mentioned in descriptions of Tap are his ability to transport men immediately from one country to another and to teach them the languages, philosophies, and arts of many different cultures and societies. Given his position in hell and his particular set of skills, it seems that Tap may hold many of the qualities of a capable diplomat. Indeed, he is said to be able to bring people together in better understanding or to drive people apart by careful exploitation of differences just as easily. Focus on travel and expanding your horizons, explore new cultures, and gain knowledge. I feel like for someone who picked this, forgiveness is important. Or maybe forgiveness is a lesson that you're going to be learning, or that you are learning, or that you need to learn. Because with Hanio being the lovers, this energy being like, don't be as quick, or don't be so quick to blame and condemn when you're not as quick to reward and praise. Why be so quick to punish? And then this one is about, I mean, it can go either way, but it's more so about a personal expansion that allows you to accommodate for other people in a way. Let me read, honey. What number are you? Do you have a number? Do you have a number? Hello? Oh, no, the archangels don't have numbers. They're just in the beginning. Joy of God, Haniel. The Archangel Haniel brings happiness to couples and removes negative energy. He rules over the order of principalities. And that's all we get. Bottom of the deck is Metatron. So you get two archangels. Metatron, the recording angel. The Archangel Metatron teaches, guides, and records events in the Book of Life. He rules over the Order of Seraphim. So these cards, what do they say? Joy and pleasure brings happiness to couples, removes negative energy. Advancement and progress teaches, guides, and records events in the Book of Life. With Melahel under it, Four of Cups energy. It almost feels like there's an energy of this is being willingly blinded to something because the statue doesn't have a head. This deck, I'd be just as nervous to pick up this deck, honestly. Excuse me. Because I feel like for me, it's so roundabout. Because I don't like immediately get it. So I'm like, what is this? With that Four of Cups energy under all of this, it's that saying that you can't drink poison and expect for someone else to be harmed or ill or to fall ill. Someone really needs to learn how to forgive something or how to let something go or how to move on. And it's like holding on to this stagnates the person. And it's like the fact that the statue didn't have a head, it's like you're not even thinking clearly. Like you're not thinking at all. That's why the head is important. The heart is important, but the head is also important. Because this is a situation where the heart will get you in trouble. The heart could lead you to do something that you know you shouldn't do. the heart could lead you to betray yourself, especially a poisoned, jaded, vile, and bitter heart. Like, I don't want to be so whatever. But that's what that energy does. It poisons the heart. And it doesn't hurt or damage anyone else. And it is also that energy where it's like forgiveness isn't even necessarily for the other person, forgiveness is for you. So that you're not carrying around something that you don't need to be carrying around. I feel like this is like 10 of Wands energy. And this is like in the 10 of Swords energy. Like, for me, or to me, the 10 of Swords is like a transitional phase. It's like you put something to bed and then you move on with your life. But this, it falls under like, and it feels like it's mostly self navigated or self inflicted. But it's like it's how we hurt, harm, danger, traumatize, punish ourselves over and over and over again by keeping ourselves in certain situations, by keeping ourselves in certain frameworks and mind states and things like that. And it becomes like one of those Greco-Roman punishments, like a Sisyphean task, or like Sisyphus, like Tantalus, like Prometheus, when the eagle would come and like peck out his liver, and his liver would grow back overnight, and then the next morning the eagle would come back. It's an energy with like so much resistance in it. And it's an energy, it feels like it's really quick to demonize other people. And again, it's like it'll demonize other people, but it won't take accountability or responsibility for anything that it does. Which is why this is almost like the divine is like, what Jesus said in the Bible, that he who is without sin cast the first stone. Because if that's the game that we're playing, then we're all getting stoned today, and not in the fun way. I just heard Rob going smoking that jazz cabbage. Rob and jazz cabbage. Oh my gosh. See, when like the angel of punishment and the angel of vengeance was coming out, like that was for this. Because Samikio, the angel of vengeance, it cuts both ways. When you invoke the energy of justice, when you call down divine whatever, it judges everything in that situation. And so maybe that's why sometimes it's like, we think that we deserve this or that. We think that we're being treated unfairly. But again, we're not looking at the things that we're doing. So maybe we're exactly where we're supposed to be. And it's like, but this person did that and that person did this. And like, what about what everybody else did? And it's like, what about what everybody else did? This isn't about anybody else. It's about you. And if you try to take justice into your own hands, then good luck. This is not necessarily a warning. It's not a warning, because at the end of the day, you're going to do what you want to do. It's a question of how you want to live your life. It's like, do you really want to live your life like bitter and resentful and hateful and envious and spiteful? Do you really want to live your life in constant comparison with sometimes people who don't even care? It's like you're literally the only one playing this game. No one else is playing. Now, that's not, necessarily always the case, but what Michael Jackson say? He's starting with the man in the mirror. Maybe you should try that too. Don't no angels want to come out? Hello? Let me stop. I'm sorry. Let me breathe and ground and recenter. Let me try to come into love and light. Pleiadians, help me, girl, because y'all know I'm down here struggling. I need a reel in the petty. Reel in the petty. It's like at the end of the day, the only person that you really hurt is you. I think my friend named his cat Azazel, but he calls her Zazie. I know. I'm trying, Skywaltress. I'm trying. It's like all the petty in me just like wants to come out. Like, man, the angels don't even want nothing to do with you anymore. I'm sorry. I could have just kept it. I could have just kept it. If I would have kept it, it would have eaten me from the inside out. It's like Gumball when he was trying to be nice. Hasmed, Angel of Annihilation, Matariel, Angel of Rain. With Leliel, Angel of the Night at the bottom of the deck. This is. This feels like an energy. It's almost like there are ways that maybe you've been like legitimately hurt. Maybe you've been legitimately wrong. Maybe you can't help but be and do all of the not great things that you're doing. I'm trying. This feels like an energy that comes in, or if you want it to, it's like it could just come in and take it. It's almost like, if you really wanted it, and if you, before you went to bed at night, just prayed to the divine or however you communicate with the divine, and you're like, you know what? I don't want this anymore. It feels like in the space of the night, they would come and take it. But it's like you have to want it. Right? I'll be the first one to admit sometimes I like being petty. Sometimes I'm petty, and since I'm not necessarily petty all the time, it's like almost like a permission slip. So it's like, oh, let me get in all the petty I can until, I don't know when the next time I'm going to get this opportunity is. Zazzles, because he was Zazzy. Oh gosh, I feel like that's like sassy, but with like Z's. It also does feel like though. Oh, maybe that's what the statue was. Take 10 minutes of petty a day to ensure that nothing inopportune happens. The statue, that's what this is. It's the energy of a fallen angel. If this doesn't resonate for you, don't take it. But this is a fallen angel. This is someone who is so aware of their hurt, their pain, and their trauma that they don't see anything else. They don't care who they hurt or what they do. And it's one of those energies that you can't talk to. Because, like, there's a energy here. Here. It's almost like, oh my gosh. It's like there's an energy of the angels who mourn for those who can't be saved, or mourn those who never choose salvation. And it feels like, again, if it's not yours, don't take it. But it feels like an energy that has almost something like particularly nasty planned. But before they can before they can carry out the plan, they're gone. Or they're shut off, they're disconnected, they wander. And I don't know if it's an internal scape or if it's literally externally somewhere. But they wander. They're lost. And they don't want to be found. And honestly, it's an energy that neither side has anything to do with. And it's one of those energies that will, it's like it'll find, it's like it'll do anything to feel or find some kind of companionship. But again, like, not all who wander are lost. Some people truly, genuinely, and authentically want and desire that and get pleasure out of that. And that is as long as I'm staying in this. So hopefully hopefully nobody picked that. And if they did, it didn't resonate. But if it did, if you did and it resonates for you, then hey girl, it's not too late. Again, it's like if you want it to be gone, it can be. But sometimes we identify with our pain and our hurt and our trauma so much that we almost feel that to be without that is to be without a part of ourselves. And I've been there. Like, I wasn't out here doing nasty and malicious things to people. But in my own life, it was that, like, being comfortable in the discomfort. It's like I was so familiar with, like, depression and misery and hopelessness and dark places and a future that I couldn't even see or begin to believe in. It almost felt like a betrayal of self to even want to do better or to be better. But it reached the point one day when it was like, oh snap, like, if I don't start doing stuff, I might actually, like, do something to myself. When that broke, I was like, okay, it's time to go, it's time to move, it's time to do something. Yeah, maybe I can do that. Who was this? Sahakiel, Angel of the Sky. I don't think I've ever Sahakiel. With Eustace, Angel of Divination. This is like astrology. Angel of the Sky, Angel of Divination. There is a gate of Sahakiel in the year twos, but Sahakiel isn't in year two. So I don't know if these are the cards. What cards do I want to use? How can I help this statue find its head and its hand? Like, the hand was cut off. Hammurabi! Oh my gosh. So Matthew sent me something men, the Mesopotamians, and they said it over and over and over. If it was a dream, I would have been like, I need to remember that. The Mesopotamians, it was something Hammurabi. I don't even remember. They said it so many times I didn't think I would forget, but Hammurabi and Gilgamesh were the two that I remember. And Hammurabi is like, after Hammurabi, it's like, well, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. I don't know why I went back to Mesopotamia. That train of thought is gone. Yeah. So, Sapphidus is in this deck. That was a whole mess. Here's Sapphidus, Angel of Dust. Sapphidus, yeah, this is the same thing. Sapphidus built a growing collection of halls and spires that cracked the desert horizon, each one its own jagged landscape. Every day, men would witness the angel's latest creations, and each night they would cheer as he brought them down. As this cycle became commonplace, the only fanfare came at their destruction. This is someone again. It's in an energy of it's seeking destruction. And then who is this? Turiel, but this is the Turiel that withholds. Here I remain under a mountain made of many hands, all reaching and all taking. I press my body closer to that which I must keep. It is mine, and I will shield it from the misery of other hands. I can feel their gaze fall on it like an avalanche. Their greed feeds my conviction, so here I remain. It's like, don't nobody want to be mixed in. Don't nobody want to be mixed up with energy like that. Like, it's one of those energies. It's like you can't trust. They'll turn on you at any opportune moment, as soon as it's beneficial, because they don't really care. This card, it's Duma, the one that was all by itself. Languishing aloft, the master of dreams rests in repose. Among the stars it makes its nest, swathed in silver and gold. An untold truth is to be spoken aloud, lost to the chiming of a bell. And see, there was that angel of night energy. There's the space of things that happen at night. So pray for him. If you know somebody like that, pray, I guess. Or send out the good vibes. Yeah. Yup. If you're some, and I feel like at some point, it's also like it's not even necessarily personal. It's just like it's who they are or who they've become, and it's unfortunate. It's sad, but you know, who am I to? I don't know. Anyway, it's fine. Ooh. That's like one of the last things I expected. Not that I necessarily had any expectation. But it's like, one of those cartoons when it's like a mummy or a zombie or something and you knock its head off and the body is just like doing like that. And the head is like, I'm over here, I'm over here. The head isn't always nice. The head will be like, I'm over here, you idiot. And then like the body will put on something else as a head, like a pumpkin or a bucket or something. And then it'll be walking around bucket head. Yehuaya, Nine of Pentacles, and Ha'aya, Five of Wands. Submission to higher order identifies traitors and destroys their plans. See, that's that energy. It's like if you think that you're going to get away with something, something's going to interfere. You've already been identified. And There are certain things that are inviolable. Inviolable? Politics and ambition wins judgments and protects all those who seek the truth. And there was a thing, no, Thanatos led to Aletheia, which was truth. Death leads to truth. Bottom of the deck is the Hierophant and Haziel. Divine forgiveness obtains friendship and favors of the great and secures promises. See, again, it's like it's that. It feels like it's not too far gone, but it's not within a human's ability to do for somebody else. But if they so desire it, the divine will find them and will take them out of it one way or another. I ain't heard these balloons make a single noise. All right. Oh my gosh, it's 9:30. It's quickly approaching my bedtime. I didn't even get to finish watching the rest of the Eve. We picked the same door. I did watch door 6. When he said Saturn, I was like, wait. And he was like, oh no, I chose the Saturn door. Saturn twinkles for you, Eve, though, so you're fine. It's because of you that I see Saturn twinkle too. Thank you, Skywaltress. Did I eat today? I had cereal this morning. It was good. Azrael, angel of death. But death leads to truth. I worked for somebody named Azrael. I was like, what? They named you Azrael? I was like, okay. And then what was it? Galadriel sent me the email that was like, hey, we need this reference to come back for you to pass your background check. I was like, Galadriel, isn't that the name of an angel? It was. I was like, wait. With the elven ring and yeah, Reem sent me a message about it. I was getting my hair done. That's why I missed it. My very loving and compassionate and kind and giving mother um, did it for me. I had to wash it and then everything. Forkus and Turngarsik. Turngarsik is an Inuit deity that helps the hunters or fishers or something like that. It's an Inuit god who watches over the fishermen of Greenland. He may appear as a bear or a one armed man, and he speaks with the familiar spirits of the village shamans. That statue, well, it had one hand. It didn't have one arm, it had one hand. So if you're like, well, I only got one hand, maybe I can speak with the village shaman. It's like, no, we said one arm, not one hand. And you still got that arm, so you can't sit with us. Sorry. And again, it's like, don't nobody want to be around that. It's like, ugh. I mean, it's not that people don't want to be around the person. You can want to be around the person. You can love and care about the person, and you can want the best for the person. But that energy, and it gets tough when it's somebody that you care about. But goodness. Goodness gracious. That's one that's about to be put in the ground. So, and I was like, where did that come from? Where did this statue even come from? That's what y'all might be like. Where is this coming from? I don't even know if the person knows where it's coming from. Because again, it's just like there's a general lack of accountability for one's own actions and the part that one plays that will forever blind. Don't have a mind to see. Anyway, let's move over to this one. To the road. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. LOL. And I took the path less traveled by. It's been an hour and 36 minutes. Oh my gosh. Eve, don't you gotta work tomorrow? I'll say 136:30. And then a P for the path. Now this one is the one I pulled out the vice versa tarot for. And I'll use the in between for because I don't know what else to do. In the picture, it's like there's a path that leads us back to nature or back to the natural world. But it felt like the natural world carried on that same path. Because, like, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, maybe. Where's my pointing pen? I don't have my pointing pen, so this is what I have to do. It's stylus, though. Hold up. There we go. So if you look closely, like you can see the indentations in the grass here and like here. This is like the Two of Wands in the Wild Unknown Tarot. That came out in Rain's Mandala reading. So it's like the path continues. There's a trans-dimensional energy here. Right? Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. You got 20 or 30 minutes left in you. I don't know if I'm going to be done in that time. Oof, I only got like negative 20 minutes left in me. But it's fine. I started this and by gosh darn it, I'm going to finish. So we're doing the in between and the vice versa. For this one. I feel like there's also an energy here of like knowing how to find a happy medium in some way. Because again, it looks different, but the path continues. The path is the same. It's almost like it's no different than if like it would have led to the water or a river or an ocean. Water. You do? I had to analyze that poem with my mom, and she doesn't even remember it. I'm like, how do you not remember this? Because like we theorized that someone that the person loved passed in the woods or something, and that's why he stopped in the woods. And that in his grief over their absence, there were certain thoughts that he was thinking. Um, but he had promises to keep and miles to go before he sleeps, so he couldn't let things end there. He had to keep moving. So that was our analysis. Yeah, Eve asked me if I put it away the other day. The Three of Swords into the Four of Swords with the mystery card. I was like, I gotta get this out. Oh, snap. See, the Three of Swords into the Four of Swords, it's an energy of acceptance. more than surrendering, it's an energy of accepting. But that's like the first step, right? In the 12-step program or something. The first step is acceptance. The first step is also anger. And the stage is grief, I think. No, denial. Denial is the first one. Anger is the next one. And then acceptance comes later. Okay, work. What? I haven't seen it. See, when cards flip over in this deck, I'm just like, oh, you want to be on the other side. That was the Ten of Pentacles. All right, y'all gonna have to like come all the way out. Cards are just like flipping over. There we go. So the back of the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands is here. Temperance is here. Looking at the Hanged Man. Looking at the empty post from the Hanged Man. Somebody's supposed to be here. Somebody was supposed to meet Temperance here, but instead, they're here. If this was a movie, this would be one of those movies where like somebody died and they're running from the Reaper. And then at the end of the movie, they're like, okay. And then the Reaper is like, it's not your time yet. Like, I was coming here to take you back to your body. Like, I'm not here to collect yet, type of energy. And then in real life, they're like, I don't know, somebody did the Heimlich and the thing that they were choking on is dislodged from their throat, or, you know, the jaws of life bring them back, or whatever. It was a nightmare. It was all a dream, right? Are they still doing that in movies? It was a dream. Oh, look, the Ace of Cups into the Two of Cups. So originally, if you haven't seen what Robert Frost also wrote, that nothing gold can stay, always made you think of Stay Gold, Pony Boy. What, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross? Is that the movie, Down by Law? I don't know what I'm talking about. I get lost so easily. um, if you haven't seen Miss Remy Healings, I haven't even gotten to finish the whole video yet. The Trumpets of Thunder and the Hangman. That's what this is. The Hangman has been freed from the post, and now the Hangman is set on his journey to do something. The Ten of Wands holds an energy of a spiritual journey of significance. That's what this is. It's almost like the energy of someone who has a near death experience. I think it can also be like a walk in. That's what they call them, right? My knowledge information is limited, but it's like a walk in near death experience. All of a sudden, you just know what your purpose is. But with the Ten of Wands here, it may feel that you're under equipped to do it, while the Divine is like, all right, see you later. Go out there and do good work. You got this, kiddo. And you're like, I have no resources or knowledge. How am I supposed to do this? And they're like, you have everything that you need inside of you already. You're just like, okay, well, I guess I got to start somewhere. And it feels like, I don't know. It's like it'll come after you stop fighting it. It'll come when you stop fighting it. And maybe this feels like a future energy, a future self energy. Like we're in the water, that's on the land. So that is a star energy because the star pours the water into onto the land and into the water. Outsiders. Oh, the stages of death. No. Um, well, I didn't think so, but maybe I was. This is the road. Yeah. It's like you're traveling down one path and all of a sudden they're like, if you have Aries in your chart, I just did before in between and after for Aries, and it was like this crossroadsy type of energy, and it went off in all directions, but all roads lead back to Rome. So you get where you're going regardless. But that's what it's like, that's what happened. And maybe you can't necessarily see it. Maybe you don't necessarily see it. But your new path is, at least in some way, a continuation of the one that you were already on. It's just different. I like showing it bigger. It's like the path didn't change. I feel like there's also an energy here. This is the point where life, it's like where you step, life grows. Like if you've ever played Okami, it's like Amaterasu. Um, I think she's a sun goddess. Shout out to Goddess Aya. But it's like, what do they call it? A divine. It's not divine intervention. It might be divine intervention. It's like when she's in full sprint, like flowers and grass, like it grows at her feet. It's that energy. Like this is the point where you become a force of nature, question mark. And it feels like it's an empress energy. Like it feels empress all over. But it feels like it's in between the emperor and the empress. Because it feels like it overwrites. I don't know. Girl, what? So with this Ace of Cups into the Two of Cups and with this Nine of Pentacles, this almost feels like an energy of a completed shadow work or a complete enough shadow work. If you were to get sniffed out by spirit with thankness, you would pass. And so it's like you're coming into a time of more, of greater. Again, like the angel is sending you on your way. You've already passed. You just may not necessarily know how you're moving forward. And to that, I say, it's getting late. I'm getting tired. All the best. You got this. Everything that you need is within you, and I'm not going to tell you anything because Corey said it recently. The path is still unwritten. You haven't decided what it is yet. Or it's not that you haven't decided what it is. It feels like you, again, it's that energy of overriding. It feels like if you worked at a company and you weren't like a boss or whatever, your permissions are expanding. You're getting more permissions, so you can do more. Things that you may have needed a boss or a supervisor to do before, things that was like this, you need to have administrative access to change this in the system or whatever to download this program. I had to watch uh, it's a series of like little goofy videos they have us watch because it's about data security and stuff like that. And they were like, um, that's why sometimes they may limit or they may prohibit certain people from being able to download things to the computer, because if it's someone with judgment that is not sound who just wants whatever, and if they put a virus in the system and it gets in the system, now you have these larger company wide issues because of one person's misjudgment. It's a sort of liability that can't always be afforded. So again, it's like if you were sniffed out, you pass. Maybe you've already passed. And that can be a sort of burden and a weight of its own. And it's almost like you're sort of like thrown back into the world. Maybe after you went through a period of trying to escape from it. I don't know. But that's what this feels like. To you, I say congratulations and good luck. You got this. That's interesting. Who was that? Was that anybody? I thought something flipped over. My eyes are starting to burn. I thought something flipped over. I guess not. Ace of Wands into the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Hmm. It's like this is something that it's like this is something that you mastered. That's what it's like. That's what's playing in my head. No problem. It's like this is something that you did, something that you set in motion. See, maybe this, like you were in a space of proving something. There's the dragon cloud in the back. So it's like people above was watching, people down on earth was watching. There may even be some special guests and special visitors in the crowd. This may be a crowd of made up entirely of special guests and special visitors who wanted to witness firsthand you triumph in some way in some area. You're about to be crowned. Knight of Swords into the Queen of Swords. It feels like an energy of proving yourself worthy, but you may not have even necessarily known that that's what you were doing when you were doing it. And so then it comes in as an energy of, by sheer virtue of who you are, because certain things can't be taught, you just got to have it. Don't know. I wasn't even sure I started. And I think for some things, it's like it's not like if I trust you. It's like you don't necessarily have to do this, you don't necessarily have to do that. But if I trust you, I'm going to give you access, I'm going to give you permission. So you may not even know what you've done to earn or deserve this trust, but it's there. So then it's like, oh yeah, the magician in the tower. Woof, goodness. But see, look, there's the eye of God, sort of witnessing and observing, with judgment at the bottom, and then the Ten of Pentacles here. Okay. I don't know. And then there's the Knight of Wands energy again. Is this Knight of Wands flying? It's almost like the divine maybe asked you to walk away from something and you flew. You said, say less. You ain't have to tell me twice. Bye. And he's gone. The horse can fly. What? The horse can fly. What did this just become? Or this could also be the space of something that would like intimidate others, a space where others would falter, but you don't. The inviolable, or whatever, that energy, you got it. I'm gonna have to put all these cards back. All right. Have a great night, Eve. That's my friend Momo. I was like the old guy. I was like, oh, you kids keep me young. Because she's like, ooh, say less. It's fine. Have a great night. Kizzy Cat. Isn't it late over there? You're like 6 hours ahead of me. So it's like, what, 4 a.m. almost? Girl. So last but not least, never least, ever least, never, ever, ever least, at least not here. No one's least here. I'm a Pisces and my last name starts with a W. So I know what it feels like to go last. Nice guys finish last. That's the one. I'll treat you like trash. It's not what I really want to do. But you only date bad guys, so I'll give it my best try to treat you the way you want me to. Gosh. And it's like, excuse me. No, I didn't ask for that. I don't want that. Anyway, sorry. I am a Pisces. I'm a Pisces sun, Taurus moon, and rising. The Stump. So, I think I already wrote the timestamp. I'm going to say 1:59 Stump. Hopefully I don't get stumped on this one. Also, hopefully I'm not up for like 5 more hours because a dude's got to go to bed. I got to be at work early tomorrow. I don't have to be at work early tomorrow because I've kind of I've made it through that phase. Oh no! It's fine. Okay, Stump. I'm back. I wish I had the Santa Muerte tarot. Santa Muerte. I can't even roll no R's. That was just me thinking about work because I think someone else is going to be gone on Tuesday, and I hope I ain't got to go back there with them spiders. So the Stump. Let's look at the Stump. The Stump is an interesting energy because it feels like something it's like a startup has been attempted in the past. My next, I'm gonna do a 3 or 4, another one like this, from a video game, and here's a hint, or here's one of the options. See this thing? It's called a violation. You go through the gardens of hope and you remove the corruption. So it's going to be about removing the corruption from the gardens of hope and like the different ways and forms that corruption appears. I don't know. We'll see. So stumpers, this is the full image. So you can see the stump, you can see all of this. You can see like the greenery here. You can see some of these twiggy things that are kind of dead, and then you see the green one, the nice green one, the current iteration, the one who's gonna bring the trophy home. All right. See you later, Skywalktress. Have an excellent rest of your day. Aw. Aw. Thank you. I don't know what I'm gonna use for this. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, I pulled out so many decks. I'm gonna have to put all of these away. Sure. Let's go for it. Why not? Oof. These I'm going to take face down. Trust is important, stumpers. I trust that whatever I need to see, I will find. So, these cards will be whatever they got to be. Right? I trust that I can pull out this deck. I can show you these. Just pick them at random, not even shuffle. And that somehow, some way, this is going to resonate. Community, third chakra archangel Camuel, or Camuel, and action. And I also trust that if this don't resonate for you, you won't take it. And if you do, that's a choice that you made. It ain't on me. There's something about discernment for you stumpers, but it's not discernment in the way that we usually think of discernment. It's discernment as in like developing a very keen eye. It's discernment in a way that's able to differentiate things. Foresight is also impossible. Foresight is also important. To a certain degree, it is impossible because we have choice. But it's important because there's something about it's like don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Be careful of pulling up your crop because you think it may be a weed. It feels like there's something that you just do not have the ability to get clarity on for whatever reason. Maybe it's something that involves a lot of choice and not only your choice, but other people's choice. Maybe it involves many people's choices. Maybe it involves so many different pieces that you can't even see it all. But with your gift of discernment, it feels like you'll be able to notice and track certain things and make inferences based off of that. And so you don't necessarily know the outcome, but you know a few potentialities. And the challenge may come, or a challenge may arise in navigating desired potentials. I was almost not going to use these, but I'm going to use these. That was me remembering that I didn't get anything for lunch tomorrow. It's fine. Nearly perfect harmony, a crystal clear night of charted stars, triplets in the third trimester, a candle burning on both ends, inversion, a revelation of self and accountability under community. This is you being something or someone that many people and energies want to work for, want to work with, want to collaborate with. Third chakra, Archangel Camuel. An internal truth burning to be seen, the yin side of masculinity, a thrusty yet elegant dance. Where it's like it's almost vulgar, but it's done artistically, so it can be considered art. I guess. I don't know. 887. Oh, what? It was almost 888. 8876 5 6 7 8 8. There is an 888 because this is a 17 8. Where passion meets determination, going the distance, and a need for discipline. Indecision on one side with another 8. And then look, this deck is the back of 2 cards. The universe has your back. Not just the universe, though. This feels like an energy. It's like all of a sudden one day you wake up and you have like friends and you have people in your life that you can trust, and you have like, there are certain things that used to worry and concern you that would keep you up at night that you haven't thought about in a long time. And even when you do think about it, it doesn't phase you as much anymore. Something happened when you weren't necessarily paying attention. You became what you were in the process of becoming. It's almost like then is now. Like what is to come is now. The future is now. And the future lives in your choices and decisions, which is another reason why discernment is important. And it's not to get lost in realms of potential and what could be at all. Because again, you don't have any control over it. It's not for you to have control over it. And it's not for you to stress yourself out or worry yourself out. But it's like discernment and foresight. Because discernment and foresight will have you see. It's a Queen of Pentacles energy to me. It's like discernment and foresight will have you see the growth potential of something that others would not necessarily think is valuable, right? But you see it. And it's almost like what you see is for you to see. And so there's also this feels Sagittarian. There's also this thing where it's like what you see is for you to see what you know others may not necessarily know. So if they don't know what you know and if they don't see what you see, it's like then there's a projected outcome that can only but be. If they don't know what you know and don't see what you see, then there's a projected outcome that can nothing but be. It's like if you knew what I knew, and if you saw what I saw, you would see this coming. Discernment and foresight. And there's also something, it's like being a good judge of character in a way, too. It's like when you know that there are challenges that someone faces, but you know that there's a part of them that's greater than the challenges that they face. And so maybe where others would count someone out, you wouldn't. Maybe you've been that person, or maybe you are that person, or maybe you will be that person because of what others can't see, because of what others haven't yet experienced. You're a curator of experiences. You're going to curate your own experience. But curation, not creation. There's something almost indirect about it because, again, it just feels like there are so many variables that are outside of your control that aren't for you to control. I am the dreamer of my dream, and you are also the key force, the key factor in making that dream come to reality. Your dream is the thing that wants to be seen. And it's almost like spirit or the nature of energetics itself wants your dream to become reality. It's almost like there's an energy that wants to be birthed here. And maybe other people want that energy to be birthed here also, but they don't have your eyes or your mind. They don't see what you see, they don't know what you know. They're not you. They don't have your experiences. There's something that only you can do. There are things that only they can do. Community is here again with that energy of collaboration. When everyone's doing their part, then the whole thing works. And maybe that's what this is. Maybe that's what all the dead plants were. It's almost like maybe there were different experiences that you've had in your life, different skills that you've acquired, or it's like, you go down a certain path for a certain amount of time, and then you do another thing and you do another thing. Maybe you kind of sort of become a jack of many trades, but it's like you get what you needed to from each of those. But within you, they all come together to create something that is greater than the sum of its parts. But it's in its discernment and in its foresight. That means I don't know. It means it feels like it resonates, but I don't know. Like it feels like there's truth in it. That's like don't ask me face. Energy flows where my intention goes with community. This is where that element of trust comes in. Because it's almost like if you put your attention and intention on top of someone else's, then it creates the opportunity for friction and for disharmony. Again, it's for you to focus on the things that are for you to focus on. If something is for someone else, let it be for them. Nearly perfect harmony, a crystal clear vision of charted stars, triplets in the third trimester, a candle burning on both ends, inversion, a revelation of self and accountability. The crystal clear night of charted stars feels like an energy that's able to see how everything works with everything else. And it's the relations between the stars that create the constellations. Also, it's relations that we build, right? We connect the dots. The stars are just kind of sort of there. And so, too, there's an energy here where it almost feels like there's something that can become nearly anything, which is why it's important for you to be aware of your intention. Because it feels like if you're aware of your intention, then you'll know how to utilize the resources at your disposal. It feels like that also aids in the discernment and the foresight. If you know what you need to be done, or if you know what you need to do, then it's like you can see something, know what you need, and then be able to receive or come up with the use or the methodology of the thing, which may lead to some kind of innovation, maybe in the way that you utilize it, maybe in the way that you go about it, maybe in the way that you talk about it, whatever. And it's like you are the Avengers. You're every member of that team. This is definitely like a mutable energy, but also a cardinal energy. It feels more mutable though. It feels like cardinal would be in the process of acquiring. It feels like fixed would have already done it. Mutable is the one who has it. So they're past the cardinal phase, but it isn't necessarily established. So they're not quite yet in the fixed phase. Not that that necessarily makes any difference in any way. But maybe there's also something about understanding your limitations here. There's a need to understand your limitations. And also with the nearly perfect harmony and the revelation of self, it feels like you may be coming into the ability to see what it is that you need to see. Or it may be like where you can discern what you're lacking. But again, if you know what you don't have, if you know what you need, then when something comes along your way, you know what to ask from it. So it no longer is this thing of like, well, you never asked me. Like you're not asking the right questions. Like you have all the resources at your disposal, you're just not utilizing them in a way to get you what you want, right? And last but not least, is the key to prayer is to forget what I think I need with action on top of it. An inn that welcomes weary travelers, a hot tub that soaks all of one's worries away, a blistering heat and freezing cold that lies at the heart of creation, the truth of the heart made plain in beginnings, an immediately met request, a land where all seasons reside, and a return to center. There's an energy here that's like, forget what you think you know. What you knew got you this far, and you're reaching the end of that knowing. It's like you're reaching the end of the usable, not the usable life. Um, it's almost like it's gotten you as far as you can go. It's time to put something else in your tank so you can go even further, so that you can continue on. This is an energy that banks on you not growing. I feel like there's too an energy here of like maybe there were certain things that were off limits to you before. Maybe you didn't yet have whatever you have now, where it could benefit you in a way that it didn't before, because you didn't know how to use it, or you didn't know that you could use it in this way. And it's almost like you didn't have a reason to know until you had a different need. When you have a different need, again, that's when you utilize or interact with something in a different way. You already have everything you need. It's just a matter of figuring out how to use it. So that's what I got. I hope you'll have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. And I hope that whatever you need along your way journey path you find. This was more than I expected. But it's fine. I will catch you all maybe with that Gardens of Hope, removing the corruption from the Gardens of Hope, another Rustling Around inspired pick a card reading. I don't know.